And we're live.
Hello.
Hello, beautiful people. We're just having some technological difficulties at the moment, so bear with us. But welcome everybody to the next episode of the Paradigm campaign. Hello, Michelle. Nope, still can't hear anyone. She's having sound issues. She cannot hear anybody. We can hear her, so it must be. It's got to be a speaker setting. Let's see.
There it is.
Yay! Hello.
Hi. Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
What a mess. All right.
So, ladies and germs, the reason Michelle was late is because she was dying earlier and couldn't manage her time properly.
Yeah, I thought that was a secret, man.
Oh shit! Sorry, wasn't I supposed to say anything? Oh, what a shame.
I didn't know you guys knew.
Well, now you do. That's okay. We were watching something on telly anyway, so I was running a little bit late myself. And I don't really care. If we're late, we're late. We're good. It doesn't matter. So, welcome everybody. Welcome players. We will kick off with the recap from last episode. There's going to be a little bit of a time skip tonight. I'll inform you of that very shortly, but so Stidley, what's up? Last we left off, we joined the Lions as you headed to the Squirrel and Hydra to continue your pub crawl from the previous episode. You guys sat down and ordered your drinks, and the half-elven bard, Nalissa, was there. You were having a good time until a rather drunken dwarf approached the table and had a thing for Sadiq, believing Sadiq had smited him in some way, shape or form about his name or race or whatever. Basically picked a fight with Sadiq, and Naemaris got involved very briefly, although she just thought, too tired, can't be bothered. But Sadiq very quickly dealt with the dwarven individual, who was then carted off unconscious upstairs, to a room which you guys paid for, which was very generous. The next day, or you then obviously headed back to the guild house. The next day, you spent some time helping Naemaris train in the guild training area. This was where it was discovered a large stone, a foundation stone in the guild house had been defaced with the name of Yldry /Fiala in very fancy script, which was later discovered to have been its handiwork, which Fiala believed was the most romantic thing she'd ever seen, or the /creepiest, depending on who had written it. Turns out it was the romantic thing because Het had written it. With that, Yldry and Naemaris had a bit of a discussion, and Yldry offered to take Naemaris for a ride. So transforming into her true Drake form, they flew around the coastline of the city of Valand, and then returned, inadvertently setting off the city alarm as a large shadow in the shape of a dragon was seen by the city guard. The city was then plunged into an alert, which you guys became a part of, and eventually the alert was rescinded, and you headed back to the guild hall to rest up for the evening. I believe you guys had discussed potentially visiting Coram to let him know what had happened and to apologize for this indiscretion. But that'll be completely up to you. We will pick up as you guys wake in the morning and face the next day in the city of Valand. It is an overcast day this day. The clouds have rolled in sometime during the evening. It is not raining, but it is a little bit more dark and dingy. It's not cold, but it's not warm either. But the day is yours. As you all come to consciousness, all meet in the guild hall for breakfast. I will turn over to the Lions of Valand as you start your day.
So, breakfast. Everyone hungry?
I could eat.
Yes.
Yep, food sounds awesome.
I think an omelette should be in good order.
You guys are fucking terrible.
We're terrible. This is so awkward.
Every
Breakfast time is
episode,
always the
I'm going to break character for this. Every episode, right at the start, is you guys are so awkward about who's going to start the conversation. It is so funny. After 50-something episodes, you think you guys would be okay by now, but no.
So eggs, huh? Eggs, okay?
Don't forget eggs with mushrooms. And do you think there's a little piggy running around for some bacon anywhere?
At this point, Seth then makes himself known. Bacon? Of course we can have some bacon. Whatever you need. So what will it be? Eggs, bacon, mushrooms, raw meat for you, Het.
Het will have nothing. Breakfast is so overdone.
So overdone, fair call. Not a problem. How
Yeah,
about
breakfast
how about a
every
whiskey?
day.
How about a whiskey instead?
That's a crazy start. Het will just go with the mead.
A mead? Okay. Not a problem. With that, Seth excuses himself, heads to the kitchens, and prepares your breakfast. Coffee, eggs, bacon, mushrooms, mead, whatever you desire for the morning is prepared and laid out for you in the guild hall. With that, I remember his name. Lyle, the guild headmaster, the new guild headmaster, appears from his office. When I find his thing in my sheet of stuff here, Lyle Leonette, there he is. He moves in to greet you for the morning. Good morning. Good to see you all awake and ready for the day. Corden would like to see you as soon as possible. He has left a message for me to extend an invitation. He has an announcement he would like to share with you for the coming days. And of course, you have your information regarding the Black Fang, which if you need supplies, let Seth know, and we will provide. And with that, he again sharply bows, clicks his heels together, which is rather German for a French guy, but he then retreats back to his office.
Uh-oh. Are we in trouble, you think?
Well, if the headmaster's out, I imagine so.
It was just
You're very, very quiet, Adam. Very quiet.
It was just a little dragon flight. I mean, it's not bad, is it?
I was going to say, did you think we got in trouble last night for flying around the town?
Oh, I guess we'll have to find out.
I don't know why you're worried. If he starts ribbing you, you just like lean over and chomp his head off.
We'll make that plan B. Yeah.
It's a good plan B.
Well, I guess we should go then. Probably, unless anybody has anything else to do.
That's
Nope.
just a good idea. I'm just, while we head out though, I'm going to have a quick look at the job board, see what's up there.
There's a job board? Oh yeah, that's right, there's a job board.
We have a job board? Shit, I
There
thought
is
we
a
just do
there is
what
a
we
notice
want.
board which you all know about, and Alashon, you want to check out the notice board to see what is available.
Yes.
There is nothing on the notice board. It is empty.
Okay, then.
For the first time in all the months that you guys have been as members of the guild, has absolutely nothing on it.
That's because didn't Sadiq give the jobs to some young troops while we were off doing the find Yldry thing?
Yeah.
You gave
Yeah,
him,
we-
you gave
but-
you gave them a job.
There must have been the one on the board.
There was a few, but the board has now been cleared.
Excellent, it means they're doing their work.
Yeah, but it leaves us nothing to do.
Exactly.
Well, I'm
Except,
sure we'll be able to find something to do.
well, except take care of our red dragon issue.
And also the issue of the Black Fang, which details from the Garrick the Four.
Oh yes, that's right. And the black. See, this is so long between games.
And the council members. We can't
And the
forget those
council
guys.
members, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, well,
Oh, yes.
we do have a list of shit to do, but you know we keep on forgetting what. That
No, I've got it written down. I just have to read my notes. Oh, I guess we better go and see Coram and let Fiala get her spanking.
Good idea.
Wait, what?
yeah, she needs to get a spanking.
I thought we did enough of that last night.
Yeah, they don't.
Um,
Kind of bruised.
And don't forget, we also need to probably go to Beaufort Keep at some point to see if we can find Thorfey.
Oh
Am I
yes.
in the right game?
Yes.
Ah, Thorfey!
Was your dad?
yes.
I was just like,
Dorothy.
yeah, that's okay.
So what happens when you take a break from D&D, guys?
It wasn't even that long.
No, we take a break and everyone forgets shit.
Can we not do that again?
Didn't I kill you? Who are you?
Too soon.
Oh,
Dude.
oh wow.
All right, so we do something and things.
So
Quorum.
you decide to head to Coram to find out why you have been invited there as soon as you were able this morning. It takes you the usual hour or so to cross the city to Coram's estate. The Coram's personal guard bow and greet you as you approach and allow you onto the property without any hassles. His manservant meets you at the door. Once again, never speaking, just nods politely, shows you into Coram's office.
When he does this, Het leans over to Yldry and says, "One day I'm gonna get a woman servant."
Really? Okay, I'm just gonna ignore it.
Okay. With that, you're shown into Coram's office. It takes, this time, normally takes around about 10 or 15 minutes before Coram usually arrives. But you have been waiting now for about 30 minutes. Is there anything you guys wish to discuss while you wait? After 30 minutes, he still hasn't arrived.
Ralph, you act like you've really done it now, haven't you?
Okay, so I need to come up with a good excuse, I think.
For what?
Well, he told me not to change into a bear, which I didn't again, but you know, dragon. So maybe, yeah. It can't be that bad. Maybe he has to go to the bathroom. Maybe he's been stuck in there for a while.
Maybe he's going to get the council together and bind you to the hells like they did with Kosis.
Thanks, Het.
Yes.
Oh,
Halfway
always
through
the
that, I
optimists.
You're right, Sadiq. Halfway through that, I thought, geez, I should backtrack that, but it was too late. I was already balls deep.
Just like
Apparently
never
not
mind.
the first time. Wow, this episode's taken a turn for the worst already. Jesus.
Didn't take very long either.
No, it didn't. After almost 45 minutes, Coram opens the doors and comes through. He's dressed in not his normal sort of lordly robes as he normally is. He's actually dressed in armor. A light sort of tannish color leather armor, chest plate, more suitable pants and boots for combat, and leather braces, and a long dark red cloak. And as he turns to sit, you notice that there is a white dragon's head embroidered on the cloak. Very similar to the City of Valon sigil, but the City of Valon sigil is a black dragon, not the white dragon. And he sort of turns and nods and sits and says, sorry to keep you waiting. I was attending some business. But I've asked you here to inform you we have some proceedings coming up in the next week or so. I'm sure you're all aware that we have been making preparations for the city to increase defenses for when the Blood Moon arrives and the attack of Kosas. We will be obviously bolstering the city guard, but also asking for aid of the larger cities of Paradigm proper to send more troops. We intend to bolster the city by about 10,000 strong. I have an intention of then conscripting these troops into a new military force for the Paradigm region, the Paradigm realm. This force will be very particular. They will wear this robe, and as he then removes it and then lays it down on the table, you see it's very dark crimson red, almost not quite a brown color, but almost very, 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 very close to the arterial blood color. Just a very, very deep. Bordered with gold embroidery around the edges, and like I said, the sigil of a white dragon's head, finely embroidered into the center. This will be the colors and the sigil of the new military force of Paradigm. They will be the dragon scale force. Obviously, you can see that the white sigil is almost the same as the black dragon sigil of Valond, but this sigil will depict the benefactor of this army and the reason for this army's existence. Yldry, Fiela, what are we calling you now? I mean, I've known you as Fiela, but I mean, you are Yldry the White after all. This militia has been formed in your honor to remain after Kosas, and it has been decided that if you would accept, be its general, I suppose, is what we're kind of called. We're not entirely sure, but you will generally lead this army, and because you have the capability to get across the realms more quickly than everybody else, this army will be split across the realms, but in times of need where the force needs to be brought together, obviously you can rally these forces. So yes, if you are willing to accept this great honor, then this will also be announced in 10 days time, along with I intend to address the city and Paradigm from the Arcanist Tower.
Well, I'm very touched. I'm not one to speak eloquently, though, about leading armies, but I can try my best. I mean,
the way I see it is you are, not to be rude, but centuries old and have commanded the respect of many in your past. The announcement of your return to the realms to aid us once again is surely to rally the realms together.
Well, we could definitely use the help against Kosis when the time comes.
Definitely. It's one thing that we are counting on is revealing who you are to the city and to the realms. Hopefully this will rally the bulk of the realms together to fight together once again against a common enemy. Obviously, we have the Fang to deal with and the contract, but from my understanding, you obviously have the information from Garrick. You know where the leadership is hiding. Once they are dealt with, you will have the information you need to find the remaining council members and to deal with this contract once and for all. So I believe now, more than anything, that revealing your true identity and return of Yldry to the realms will put you at no more risk than you already are.
This is true, but I still am part of the Black Lions, of course.
That will never change. You guys, all of you, are now and will be forever members of the Order of the Black Lion, and will go down in history as being its greatest champions. I, for one, believe that you'll go down in history and have songs sung about you for a long time to come as the heroes of Volant that we most desperately needed in these times.
Say, what was the name of this militia again, this army?
The Dragon Scale Militia. Obviously,
Dragon Scale.
we have named them for the armor of which the dragon is most commonly recognized for. Hearty, strong. Hopefully this militia will live up to its name and repel the forces of Kosis and Asmodeus when the time comes to allow you to defeat this great evil.
Will that require us to alter the name of the Lions? Maybe we become the Lions of Dragon Scale, as opposed to the Lions of Voland.
Well, Voland will very much remain the same. The city will still be the city. The Order of the Black Lion will remain it is. I mean, if you wish to change your name from the Lions of Voland, I mean, that's just completely up to you. But you are well known as this, clearly.
That is true, and there'd be a lot of paperwork and probably some copyright things to sort of bullshit around, and yeah, you're probably right.
Naemaris.
I look at her and I'm like, why would you want to change our name?
Oh, I didn't want to, I just thought with the army being named that, and we sort of, well, Yldry sort of heading the army and we being part of the group she's in, I thought it just might go hand in hand.
She's still going to be one of us.
Yes, I guess you are right. Except for when she's leading her giant army across the land to take down all her foes.
But we're going to be part of that army.
Of
Which
course.
is why...
Of course. If you,
In fact, we'll probably be on her back.
this goes without saying. I mean, you would all be hold title and rank. Yldry would be, I would suppose, maybe Lord Commander of said army. Sadiq, Het, Alessandros, and Naemaris would be generals, I would imagine, of some description.
Oh, I can be the court jester.
I'm sure you could, Het. I'm sure you could.
That's my favorite army part.
It would be good for
I
morale.
thought I'd be the court jester, not you, Head.
You're my throwing implement, Ali, you know?
You're the trap master.
Okay.
Well, Alessandros, we do need to train some of these soldiers in the art of trap finding and trap disarming and lock picking, of course. Is Sadiq shaking his head for real, or is that just Adam shaking his head?
Yes, no.
Spy-
He said as well.
Oh,
Spy
Sadiq,
network.
you do you think that you would be better suited for this task?
No, I just don't think Ellie's a great choice for trap finding. She finds traps by stepping into them.
Maybe leading
Oh.
the scouting parties. Maybe that would
Well,
be good.
we do need to train scouts also. I will leave details to the Lord Commander, of course.
I think Ellie is so good for killing unwanted associates in the middle of the night, especially when they surprise attack her.
She almost took me down, too. Well, she did.
That is, yes. See, Ellie is awesome, but just not at finding traps.
Well, I'll leave the details to you, of course. Naemaris, did you have something to say?
Oh no, I was just gonna say last time I remember she found a trap by putting her arm in it and nearly got her arm ripped off.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was Inari, not Alessandros, but...
No, right back at the beginning, because Gillian was gonna have a go as well. No, that was a mimic.
Yes, that was a mimic, yes.
And that was Gillian,
That was
not
Gillian,
me.
not Alessandros.
Are you sure?
I'm
Roll a history check to see if you remember, both of you.
Clearly I don't, but you know.
History check, please, Naemaris.
I'm a little hazy on the details. I'm sure I didn't. I'm a little bit hazy, but I'm sure.
3. Oh God, what was yours, Trash?
8.
Oh, you're less hazy than Naemaris. Naemaris is definitely wrong, and she swears it was you, but it wasn't.
It was.
Yes, your memory's a little hazy, but you know it definitely wasn't you, but you're not sure who it was. But with that, Coram takes the cloak and puts it back on and says, I will call for you all in 10 days' time, where you will join me at the top of the Arcanist Tower, where we will make the announcement to the city. The mages will have several prestidigitation. I can never say that without my teeth in. Several prestidigitation spells operating, and some message spells going out, so the whole realm will be able to see and hear what is going on. So it should be a very interesting event, nonetheless. But I will definitely call for you all in 10 days' time. We just had an earthquake, by the way.
Is that what that was?
Just a small one. But that's the third one in 4 days. With that, Coram then stands and says, I will see you then, and sort of waves for you to get the hell out of his office. So you leave. His manservant shows you to the front door, and the rest of the day is yours to do what you wish. Is there anything you want to achieve for this day before we do our little short time skip to 10 days time?
Sorry, Ghostity.
No, I just said I don't think so.
Oh, he just wanted to say during that 10 days he's going to pick up his armor, obviously.
Yes, you will. Anything that you guys had ready that you had ordered or wanted to pick up, you will be able to do so. So your armor was ready. It's to the specifications you required. And
Sweet.
You paid for
I already put it in my equipment list. I've got my scale mail now done.
I'm just gonna study possible locations of the Fang.
You already know the location of where the leadership is. You were given that. Garrett gave you that information. You know, he's given you a mark on your map where you need to go to locate the leadership. But are you wanting to find other locations of?
Yeah.
Garrett would give you that information as well, because technically when he takes you, he's already told you guys, when he takes over the Fang will be open to you guys. There's going to be some changes made. The Fang will be brought back to what it should be, which was generally working with the government and the law for a sort of the betterment of the realms, so to speak. They still make money. No one unnecessarily gets killed because they don't do it. They will stop doing assassination contracts, and they'll become the general thieves guild, what they have always been, taking in street urchins and such. So if you wanted to go talk to Garrett for that, you could, and he would give you the information that you needed, which would let you know that pretty much every city has a subterranean layer of series of tunnels that the Thieves Guild use, There are safe houses across the realms, which Thieves' Cant will reveal to you at any if you know what to look for. As you can speak Thieves' Cant, you'll definitely find these safe houses. Fences for stolen property, but generally the Fang is going to be changing names and the way that they do things when Garrick takes over. Anybody else? Nope. Okay, so with that, over the course of the next 10 days, you spend time collecting items. Alessandra spends time doing her research, talking to Garrick. Naemaris, you spend as much time as possible with your friends and with the city guard training. You start running, you start doing sit-ups, press-ups, anything you can do to start building your body back to its former glory. Over the course of the next 10 days, you do not obviously come back to what you were. I mean, it's going to take some time. You have spent months being tortured and not being fed well, so you are on the lean side. But over the course of 10 days, you do start to feel stronger, and your body starts to resemble the shape it once had. The muscle tone starts to reform. You definitely start to look something like you did once before. You visit the Temple of Helm a couple of times during this 10 days. The priests there welcome you openly. You speak to the abbot about your sword, and the abbot re-blesses Helm's vengeance and informs you that Helm never left your side. Helm was always with you. The reason that you were stripped of your rank as a paladin was because you ultimately broke the law. But even though what you did was possibly right and morally was probably right, then unfortunately the tenets of the Paladin Order, by breaking the law, you broke your oath. So because you were not evil, you were just stripped of your Paladin ranks. And you, at this point, would not be accepted back if you so chose to reapply. But you are able to reapply at some point, if you so chose to. You seem fairly accepting of this. But you go back to the guild house, you contemplate on what has been said, you do more training, and you just focus on the task at hand. Proving to your friends that you are who you say you are, that you are the original and one and only Naemaris, and you are there to fight for justice and fight for good. On the morning of the 10th day, Coram greets you at the guild house and beckons you to follow him to the Arcanist Pot Room, the Mage's Tower in the center of the city. You all follow, and as you scale the tower and reach its upper levels, you open out. You guys have never been up to the top levels before. Naemaris, you probably have once or twice growing up, but the top level is fully open, almost like a castle parapet, like the parapets on a castle, or the pulpits on a castle, but it's open topped. Set very similar to a castle top, but it has the for want of a better term, the rook top from a chess piece, the serrated top at the top of this tower, so that people can look out over top and have some cover if they were to shoot from there with bows or with spells, as an example. As you reach the top, you find several elven and half-elven mages ready and waiting, preparing, muttering arcane incantations as Coram then starts to speak. He motions you guys to stand to one side, and he says to you, Yldry, he says, when I start speaking, this mage here will open a small portal. You shall step through, which will put you just on the outskirts of the city. You will still be able to hear what is going on. The prestidigitation will have my words carry throughout the realms. It's been relayed, as shall we say. When I call for you, you will assume your true form and fly into the city and hover above the tower. And that is when you will say whatever it is that comes to mind. But I will essentially introduce you.
Alrighty.
So with that, the mage opens a portal. Do you step through?
Yes, I hesitantly step through.
You step through, and you do indeed find yourself just on the outside of the city walls.
Can I follow?
No, you cannot. The portal has been opened for Yldry alone, and if you try to follow, you will be one of the mages will hold a hand out to stop you. With that, Coram then steps up to the edge of the tower. You can see, as you guys look down, you guys can see that the city itself has gathered. There's a lot of people gathering around the base of the tower, and as you look out to the city, everyone's sort of come out to the streets, and the whole city is just filled with people. You do see several small portals that have been opened around the top above where you guys are standing, and through those portals you can see other cities and other towers as the mages have opened up this portal so that Coram's message can be heard across the realms. He then stands, clears his throat, and then starts to speak. Citizens of Voland and Paradigm proper, I, the lord of this great city and protector of its peoples, wish you all to know that the time draws near. The time for all to band together for the common cause. The time to put aside petty arguments and feuds. Many of you know of Kosis the Red and the stories of his reign of terror some 200 years ago. Some would have been around to see this firsthand, as I did. All of you have heard of Kosis the Dark, who has terrorized this realm for the past few months. All of you have heard of the Lions of Voland and their quest to thwart the plans of the great Prince Asmodeus and the sinister Kosis. These are one and the same as the prophecy is upon us. In just 90 days from this, we will see the blood moon rise, and all the forces of darkness will rise against the material realms. And it is here, the greatest city in the realm. This is where we will stand, and this is where we will fight. Preparations have been made as we speak to fortify this great city. The Lions of Voland have travelled far and wide in search of powerful artifacts and allies to aid in this coming battle. And it is so, this is the reason I ask you all here to hear me this day. Yldry, the great white drake, long ago aided this realm, and the realm of men, dwarves, goblins, orcs, all of us, has been found and once again comes to our aid. There are those that wish her harm, but know this, as of this moment, she is under the protection of the greatest city in this country, in this realm, and under the protection of the Lions of Voland. And so I present to you, the fine people of Voland and the realms of Paradigm, Yldry, the champion of men. And it is at this point that you all watch as the slightly overcast day, a large drake appears above the clouds and starts to head towards the center of the city, doing a small circle around the city. And then as she heads closer to the tower and starts and breaks the clouds, you hear people gasp and sort of, you hear small children going, whoa! There's a lot of murmurs and stuff through the crowd as Yldry breaks the cloud cover and then hovers above the Arcanus. Great Yldry, I offer my humble thanks for your aid once again in this great battle to come. And rest assured that vengeance will be all of ours. And he sort of steps back at this point and basically raises his hands up to you.
Okay, I'm gonna look over the crowd with my long neck, and I'm still hovering, and I'm going to say, "People of Valond, I was once called a champion of men, but now with the Black Lions, we are together going to be champions." Is it Black Lions? It is
Yes.
Black
The Order of the Black
Once
Lion,
again.
correct.
And when you see me flying over in the skies, know that it is I and the Black Lions protecting the very things that you hold dear, your lands, the people you love, all the things you treasure from the coming of darkness that Kosas may bring. And we will do our best to keep you all safe. And with that, I just end it simply.
Do you remain hovering at this point? Or do you then change form and rejoin your friends on the housetop?
I might let out a roar if the crowd's okay with it. If they're scared looking, I'm not going to do it. And then I'll...
Okay, at this point you see a few... everyone's looking up. Because you're at the highest point, you can see the entire city from your height. And everyone's just looking up. You see the faces of children, of women, men, all races have gathered in the city. And as they're looking up, you hear the occasional shout of, yeah, cool, yeah, we can't wait, kind of thing. And then slowly but surely, they start to clap and start to cheer. As the cheers and the claps grow louder, you start hearing the chant of your name, just slowly and quietly at first. And then it just slowly gets louder and louder. Before you know it, within a few moments, the entire city is chanting, Yldry, 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 and clapping and cheering, and it's just absolutely booming. You guys at the top of the tower can also hear similar chants coming from the small portals that are opened around the top of the tower. As you sort of peer around and look through these portals, you can see the citizens of other cities are all clapping and cheering as well. After a small time, the chant of Yldry starts to die off. A new chant raises. Just single word. Lions. Lions. Lions over and over again. You get the impression that the realms, or most people, there will be a few, as always. There are people that don't like dragons. They've heard stories. They've grown up with that kind of hatred in their heart. But for the most part, the populace is very happy to see that they have a dragon on their side, and are more than supportive of the Lions of Valond.
I'll shake my neck and let out a little roar, and then I'm going to land in the other form next to my friends.
And with that, Coram then steps forward. Now, my friends, we will continue our preparations for what is to come. In the coming weeks, I will make contact with the other lords of the major cities of this realm. We will be putting our forces together and reforming the mighty military force that was once part of these lands. Under a new name, however, new banners. The banner of the red and gold cloaks and the sigil of the white drake. The Dragon Scale Militia will be the protectors of this realm, and forevermore. I thank you all for coming this day. Be safe, everybody. Keep the preparations going, and together we will prevail. And with that, he trails off. The mages then start to close the portals. And then turns to you all and looks to you, Yldry, and bows quite deeply, which is the first time Coram has ever shown that level of respect to any of you. And it's not just to you, it's to the whole group. He is technically above you. His station is well above all of you. but in this moment he shows his true humble devotion to the Lions of Elond and very deeply bows in respect to all of you. And then to all of you says, I thank you most sincerely for your efforts and your aids in this fight for what is right, we believe. And when the time comes, I will join you in the final battle against Kosas. I once thought that I would not have the strength to be able to help in this fight, but if this is the last thing that I do in this world, then so be it. I once was swayed by a lesser being than us, and I spent my whole life trying to find redemption. What better redemption than to die in battle, fighting for this city? And with that he bows once more. And then him and his personal guard then start to descend the tower. What are you guys doing?
Well, how are you guys feeling? This is kind of a big deal.
I don't like this. I want to go home. Can I go home now?
Why?
Well, technically you are home.
I don't like crowds, okay?
Well, we were up here on the parapets above them, so you weren't really in the crowd, Ellie.
Yeah, there's just too much attention. I don't like attention.
Well, we can only do what we are best for the city, and that's what we'll do. What we do best.
I couldn't help it either, guys. I was casting prestidigitation through that as well. I think I started the chant for Yldry.
You did it.
Well, I'm not sure. It's hard to say. Coram had some strong words there, but I did the old prestidigitation. Yeah, that there. I tell you what,
See, I'm not the only one.
I don't normally struggle with it, but Coram's speech he set me back a bit. But yes, I did prestidigitation through the first portal, like Yldry, and the next thing, boom! I was like, whoa! I started like a Mexican wave. It's a Mexican wave. Oh, maybe it's an orcish wave. I don't know what it is there.
I will say a kobold wave.
A kobold wave. There we go. Not racist at all.
So what are you guys doing for the rest of this day?
Are we in a position where we can actually go, like, hunt down these?
So most certainly are.
That sounds like a plan, then.
By this time, you guys have almost spent 2 weeks back in the city of Elond at this point. In that 2 weeks, Naemaris has been training hard. You've all helped. Sadiq, probably more so than any, sparring with her. You're probably the only one who can actually physically spar with her on her level. So you spent a lot of time with Naemaris. She spent time with the city guard, training with them as well. But you've all helped in your own way, whether it be helping her dodge magical spells or deal with psychic attacks and all sorts of different things. Ellie's even helped her deal with the incoming attacks of a more agile opponent and such things. So Naemaris is actually, like I said, she's not back to her full bulky size. That will take some time, but she's definitely fighting fit, rearing to go.
I say we head to that place that Garrick was talking about before.
The catacombs?
Where it had the woman and her two brother
Kendra and Grenda?
Yes, those people.
Kendra, Grenda, and Rendo, whatever
The
they're
Grendel.
called.
That's it.
The blah, blah, blah. Them.
Yeah.
Yeah, those people.
There.
The drow, I believe you're talking about.
That's the one, so I can
Yes.
read my handwriting.
Is that Kendra and Kendall?
We
Were they
have
not?
to meet Lashanders Orenthia or something.
Leondogus Orenthia.
Leondogus or Anthea?
And I don't remember writing this stuff down, so hopefully you guys did. Actually, I did. I wrote it in my
I
book.
sure did.
I wrote it in my book. I remember writing this down. So yes, so Garrick has told you that, just to refresh everyone's memory, that there is a safe house or a safe area under the port town of Paham, which you have travelled to once before. It is located on the opposite shore of the city of Valond. So on the western shores of Valond, if you go across the water, is the city of Paham as well. So you can, I mean, obviously you guys have means of travel now. You have been there before, so you can get there. He has marked on your map that on the northern part of the city is a entrance to the underground catacombs which lead under the city, which will lead you to a guardian of sorts, someone who is guarding the actual entrance into the safe area, the safe house. Garrick has informed you that Leondogus is neutral in the fight, so is not one to take sides per se, but is kind of what's the word, sympathetic to the cause, and given right persuasions may indeed help you quest to gain entrance inside.
What time of day, DM, was this great speech? Or did this all happen?
This was all
in
first
the
thing in the
morning?
morning, so this would have been sort of
Okay.
9:30ish in the morning.
Well, in that case, we have a good day ahead of us, like you say, Sadiq. Do we keep our steeds from last round, or do we eat them or kill them?
They
Or I can't
were
even-
you had them sent back to the city of Valond via the young enthralled guild member from Gatton, who hit intimidated quite severely.
I do recall.
But
Do
your
we take our
your
steeds?
hearses
Do we
have been
take Yldry?
returned, and you will find them at the livery being tended by the stable hands there.
What say you, team? Shall we get into this mission of utmost importance?
Yeah, I say we go.
Yeah.
Well, best 3 out of 5. That's pretty good. Hit will go and procure the horses.
I'll come with you if you like.
Oh, that would be good. You'd stop me from eating them.
Wait a minute.
Since
we?
when have you started eating our horse? Can't England tonight. Since when have you started eating our horses?
Oh, I got quite hungry while you were locked up.
Right.
No, I'm just joking. Let's go get the horses.
Come on then, let's go and see these guys at the stable. I haven't seen them for a little while.
And off we go.
And indeed, off you go. And I'm just trying to find some information because
Is it the stuff for the catacombs?
yeah,
I've got some bits written down here.
no, it's stuff that you don't know. It's
Ooh.
important stuff.
I don't have
I
that
can't
stuff
remember whether I
written
wrote
down.
it in my book or wrote
She's
it on
got
the
them right
computer.
there. She's been perusing your notes.
I'd say it sounds like it. She's been doing things she shouldn't be doing.
It says here we all die, and this.
Well, there is that too. No, there's a couple of things I wrote down for specifically for that encounter, and I don't remember where it is. I seem to
Yldry.
remember writing it in my book.
Ted.
Is it? Oh,
Talk amongst
so
yourselves for a
good
moment.
you say my name. Is it worth I mean, is it worth getting these mounts, or should we take a flight on the White Dragon to where we are going?
We could do that actually. That way we don't have to send the horses back again.
It would be quicker, right? Sadiq, do you think we'd get there faster?
I think we'd get there faster. But yeah, okay, let's do it. Why not? Maybe we should get a.
You're gonna say saddle, aren't you?
It might help. Naemaris, do you need a saddle
What for?
to ride Yldry?
I didn't have any problems the other night.
Oh.
Oh, that went south real fast.
I just I had a cough. Carry on.
I lost my
I
train of
think you're
thought.
right.
It's up to you guys if you feel you need to hold on tightly or you're good.
I think maybe even a piece of rope that we can all hang on to.
People did have dragon mounts, so it's probably not unheard of to get a saddle, maybe. Kind of.
How long have we got before we need to get it? DM,
I don't have any time constraints whatsoever.
would I, with obviously being in the city guard, would there be anywhere that there would have been old saddles kept?
Roll a history check. Because that would have been well before your time. But you may have heard something. I want to.
I have a -1 for history, so that's a 9.
Oh, I found it. No, you heard stories of the dragon riders that once inhabited city dragon stables, as they were called. So they were drake riders. They weren't dragons per se, but they would have had wyverns and things like that, which they would have used. But that was probably 100 or so years before your time. So you haven't really seen or heard of anyone talking about whether they still have any of that equipment available. After that length of time, probably not.
Okay.
Yldry, back in the wars, did you ever have riders?
Not you specifically. You would not. You never were involved in the Dragon War on that level, so because you by that stage had been injured quite severely, and had fled to recover.
No, but if you guys are going to the livery, maybe the livery would obviously know of the saddle. I don't have anything at my lair. I'd stop back there and get it, but
We did just use a rope last time, did we not, Sadiq and Ali?
Yeah.
And that worked.
I think the rope would probably just be the better idea.
We might be overthinking it. I was just a little worried about Naemaris falling off, that was all.
Yeah, that's the only reason why I started to suggest it and then stopped.
we could always put an order in for one and come back later and get it later.
The only downfall is what do we do with it after you've used it, so got to remember where we put it. And,
Well, me and Yldry could probably still use it.
Oh no!
Completely up to you. I'll get into that. I'm thinking more of the rope's probably the best thing because we just after we use it on her, we just tie it up, throw it in our pack, and that's it. We don't have to worry about the saddle.
That's true, a giant saddle.
Checker in our pack. What?
The rope, Naemaris.
Sorry, I was just not quite there, and I'm not even here, so I don't know why I'm having this conversation.
We're all there.
You're all there.
Are we?
You're all having a
I'm
conversation.
lost.
We were going to go to get horses, Naemaris, but
That's right.
then we thought we'd stop and talk to see if this route was quicker.
Torture has affected her mind, I think.
I think you're right.
I think it's the alcohol from last night.
I haven't had alcohol in ages.
I'm assuming you guys are walking and talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to think we are that good.
I mean, I would like to think you're pretty good at that by now.
Okay, so let's just go to
I don't know.
the outskirts of town, and we'll just do the
Rope
whole
it up and let's go. Yeah.
rope her up and go.
Well, the thing is, you now know that the bulk of the realms know that Yldry is back, so daytime travel now is more easily obtained without fear of being shot down. Basically, there are still people out to kill you, obviously, but that's not changed. People now know people are now aware that Yldry is part of the Lions and that she's come directly under the protection of the city of Bellond and this new militia that has been. So with that, you all head towards the outskirts of town. Probably the closest gate to you would probably be the western gate. So you head to the western gate of the city. You head out and find a big enough area where Yldry can transform. You construct your little your rope construction to give you guys purchase to hold on, and Yldry lifts off and takes off into the cloudy skies. The visibility isn't as good. If you go too high, you'll get into the cloud cover, so it'll be quite kind of hard to see where you're going. So you kind of have to stay below the cloud cover, which isn't too bad. It's not as cold for you guys. Again, some of you feel the cold more than others, but it's not too bad. It's bearable. It's not going to cause any issue. And with that, we're going to take a 5-minute break before we carry on. It's a little early, it's 9 o'clock, but
You really need to pee?
no, you just look confused. I make a decision made. We'll take our break now while we're in mid-flight. So we'll have a mid-flight movie. And we'll be right back after these messages.
Peanuts?
And we're back. Hey Piper, how you doing? Glad you could be with us tonight, mate. I hope you get better soon, my friend. It's never fun being sick or in hospital. Turn that off for a second. Fabruous, whatever the hell your name is, Fab. I'm going to call you Fab because I can't pronounce your name properly because I got no teeth. Thank you for the follow an hour ago. Appreciate it very, very much. Thank you everyone for joining us again this evening, as usual.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
Who's killing the keyboard?
No, that was Nutty stirring a coffee.
Oh, man.
Exactly.
Sounds like someone was getting killed.
She's a turbo stirrer.
Yes, there was something getting killed, and it's called coffee.
Yeah, she was killing my coffee.
She went berserk. So
Coffee killer.
The other day I was got up early and D&D Beyond was doing a stream on Twitch.
Yeah.
And they were talking about all these different builds, and the Todd, I think it is,
Todd
the
King,
guy
yeah.
that actually that actually runs D&D Beyond, was showing off his grappler, which was a frog.
Frog?
Yeah, it was a frog. Some I can't remember what the base was, but it was actually a frog, which poisons you when you're close to it.
Fun.
So he gave it the grappler feat, and it's also a warlock, so it can hex you
while grappling you.
Grapple you. You get poisoned. He's also got a feat that allows it to ignore poison resistance, so you still get poisoned. And it's like I'm sitting there. They're talking about possible damage, and I'm there going, Jesus Christ, that's a barbarian killer, because it goes straight through all these defenses. And if you run away 30 feet, he will, because of the hex, he'll appear right beside you. But at the same time, he can leap up to 50 feet.
Yeah.
I think, as well.
There's some crazy, some real crazy builds, eh?
And I'm sitting there, I'm just going, Jesus. And I think it was only like level 10. And some of the abilities / damage he could do just from grabbing onto you. Yeah.
Well, this is what I've always said about 5e, is that once you hit level 10 and beyond, your characters are almost becoming godlike in a lot of respects, because you've got by then you can take 2 feats if you choose to. So if you're clever about your feats, you can stack 2 feats which can make you really, really powerful. Plus you've got all by then I think you've got 6th level spells, 6th or 7th level spells. And some of those 6th level spells are stupid powerful, like crazy powerful stuff. So I mean, while 5e I really enjoy what they've done with it, there are still a lot of things that I think they got wrong too, that need to be adjusted on the fly or adjusted for a home game, rule set wise and spell wise. And that's why I've decided when I created this particular campaign was not to let it go beyond level 15, because I think after level 15 some of the encounters that I would have to create for you guys, I would have to double the HP on a lot of the creatures to make it even worthwhile to put you in a battle with it, because of A, there's 5 of you, and B, the damage output that you guys can do at that level is just stupid high.
Yeah, but there was also another one he showed off, which was a fallen Asimar, which would only use vampiric touch, and he had set it up in such a way that when he does do the vampiric touch, all the damage he does is all the damage he gets back as healing.
Yeah.
So, you don't need to use a weapon. He doesn't need weapon. He doesn't really care about his armor, because he just walks up to you, goes,
touches you, and goes, yeah, thank you, I'll have your health. I'll just take that bit of life from you, that's okay.
Yeah, and I'm sitting there going, this is, like, that in particular build, I'm sitting there going, Cool.
Oh, there's so many cool things you can do. I mean, and because of the way the rule set works and the way the homebrew stuff works, is if you sit down with your DM and your DM allows you to do things like that, then that's awesome. As long as your DM remembers that the encounters that they give you have to match your abilities too. A lot of the time, you're going to have your easy encounters from time to time because you don't want to just keep throwing harder and harder things at your players because it becomes a bit of a grind. You occasionally want to throw a relatively easy or inane encounter to make your players feel like, holy shit, I'm level 10, I just smushed that bloody band of goblin bandits just to come out of nowhere. Because goblins aren't generally very tough creatures unless they're in huge numbers. So if you throw sort of 15 or 20 goblins at a party of 5 adventurers at level 10 or higher, chances are that the adventurers are just going to just run rampant through the goblins. So you want to do that from time to time to give your party a sense of that leveling achievement too. But I'm finding even with you guys, is my encounters now are always set to deadly. But even looking at them, I look at the HP level of a particular creature and their abilities and go, okay, I know that you guys are going to breach that armor almost every time you roll because of now where you guys are at. I know roughly what sort of damage output you guys are going to have. So I'm thinking, well, shit, realistically, this thing only has 280 hit points. 3 rounds and it's dead with the damage output that you guys are putting out if you get the dice rolls. If you don't get the dice rolls, it might go out to 6 or 7 rounds. And will it hit you guys? So I've got to look at your guys' AC and think, okay, will it even have a chance to hit you guys at all? Is it worth even putting this up against you guys if it can't actually breach your armor? So the encounters, while I'm sticking with a theme, obviously with the prophecy and the way that this particular campaign is going, I'm also trying to figure out what creatures would be best suited to give you guys a pretty good encounter where it's not going to be over in the first round either way, whether it just kills you or you just kill it instantly. I want to run the encounter for 5, 6, 7 rounds of combat just to make it interesting and make it obviously interesting for the viewers as well. So, but it's that's D&D really. It's coming up with those encounters and the players doing whatever they do, and as Baz will tell you, and Michelle probably now knows with running a campaign, it doesn't matter what you prepare for, 9 times out of 10 your players will do the complete freaking opposite. So I spend less time prepping now than I did when I first started this campaign. I prep some real basic stuff. The more meaningful encounters I prep, everything else I practically wing. Purely because I think it seems more natural if you're winging it a lot, which is pretty much why I dropped Michelle in it this morning with the whole dragon speak. It was just like, I'm going to do this because it seemed Yldry is Fiala, and Fiala still is that awkward person. Yldry is kind of awkward still too, with now being in hiding for so long. Now just been presented to thousands of people. Of course she's going to be awkward and not know what to say, possibly. So even though in game she had a week to prepare.
No, I did not.
No, in game time you did.
Oh yeah, that's true.
In real time you had like a day.
I was busy, probably.
But see, that's how I look at it. So
just rip off someone from public,
yeah, it's
Churchill or something like that. You'd have been fine, 9 and 9.
I mean, I wrote the speech out for Quorum like probably an hour before we started. So.
We will fight them on the beaches.
I was tempted to quote Churchill. That nah, that's too easy.
We shall fight on the hills
Raid!
and in the streets.
Raid.
We got raided, legendary action official with the raid. With 23 viewers, welcome viewers. My name's Evildoer. We're just taking a brief break before we get back into the story. So you probably come in at the exact right time. Thank you very much, everybody. I am from New Zealand. Most of the players are from New Zealand and Australia. We are currently playing a homebrew campaign, which is in episode 54. Brief overview of the campaign. We've had a group of adventurers join the Adventurers Guild, because in the Realms of Paradigm you cannot adventure without being a member of a guild. It is illegal. So these characters have joined the guild. They've completed a series of 3 trials, and in the course of completing those trials they have discovered a 200-year-old prophecy which has started to come to fruition, where an ancient red dragon who was banished to the 9 hells is trying to breach the veil between the hells and the material plane. And they were actually getting probably towards the end of our story, 90 days of in-game time before the blood moon rises and the attack on the capital city begins. So we've just had the reveal of Yldry the White, which is a white dragon, the champion of men, to the capital city and the people of Paradigm. And the Lions of Elond, which are these lovely people in the cams here, which are part of the Adventurers Guild, and are working towards ending the Red Drake's reign of terror. So welcome everybody. Appreciate you stopping by. Legendary Action Official with the raid. Can we get a shout out, mods, if we haven't already, please, for Legendary Action Official? We have a total wowness with a follow, and Winsec 1 with a follow as well. Thank you very much, guys. Appreciate it. Our guys, followers and stuff, make sure you go check out Legendary Action Official and return the fade, return the follow. We'll definitely check them out and catch up their content at some point. Sure. I will just follow them now because that's what we do. So I have returned thy follow. Thank you very much for your raid. Appreciate it very, very much. Darth McPeepants. Oh my god, I love that name. Darth McPeepants with the follow.
I love
you are God. Almost as
You're
bad,
a legend.
almost as good as Darth Trashman over here. Madam Fluke with the follow as well. Thank you very much. Appreciate. And Neo Zero Mega Man as well with the follow. So guys, we're going to get back into the story now. So we may not reciprocate to any follows and such while we are doing RP, but rest assured we are very, very grateful that you are here, that you've rated us and with the follows and the support. But we are now going to return to our story and to our Dungeon Master. Yoink. Dungeon Master has returned. Right. Guys, so you have lifted off into the air on the back of your White Drake, your friend Fiala / Yldry, and have taken into the daytime sky. Fiala, this feels amazing to you to be able to reveal yourself in your true form in the open air in daytime, not hidden in the night or hidden by a shapeshift spell. You are all tied in and roped in with your makeshift harnesses, with your rope harness that you put together, and you head across the open ocean. It's only going to take you about an hour or so to get across here on Yldry's back. Would have only taken you probably a day by ship, and to travel around the coastline would have taken you a few days by horse, maybe a week by horse, but it would take you about an hour or two by Drake to fly across straight line from Elond to Paham. You see, as you cross the ocean, you see a couple of fishing vessels and a sailing ship off in the distance. As you come towards the coast, towards Paham, you can see the city of Paham off in the distance, another walled city which you have been to before. You know that you need to head to the northern end of the city, where you will, on the map that you have been given by Garrick, where you will find the entrance to the catacombs, which will lead to the safe house or the safe haven of the drow triplets, the leaders of the Black Fang. So, as you descend towards the coastline, moving around to the northern part of the city, how close to the city do you want to get before you land?
Not too close to announce our presence. I think we gotta kind of be kind of on the down low, so little just outside.
It's outside, so maybe 500 feet or so, 1,000 feet outside the city. So you descend, mindful of your passengers. You don't want to throw them off or have them jostled too much in any way. So you come in and you land as softly as you can to help them, obviously. You're now getting the hang of it. You've taken passengers a couple of times now, and it's not something that you've ever really done before now. But it's taking a little bit of time. You are getting used to it. So you land, you guys dismount, retrieve your rope, and do whatever you need to do with that. You are approximately, we'll say, about 1,000 feet, so just about a mile from the city. It's going to take you probably an hour or so to traverse through the forested area around to the northern side of the city, where you know you will find the hidden entrance to the catacombs. Is there anything you wish to do as you are traveling?
Yeah, it says. So while we're traveling, guys, no fucking mushrooms, no fucking omelets, no fruit, just traveling, okay?
I give Hit a sideways look. Say, excuse me? If I want to keep my eyes out for mushrooms while we're walking, I sure as heck will.
Oh, that's fine. Keep your eyes out for them. We're just not stopping to eat, because otherwise we'll get nowhere.
Out of my pack, I'm going to pull an apple and start eating it and go, what's wrong with fruit?
Oh no, that's good, because you can walk and talk and fruit at the same time, I guess. I was more thinking, whenever we eat, we always seem to sit down and, waste a half a day.
But I don't see why we'd need to eat just yet, because it's not, what time is it, Dame?
Oh, it's not lunchtime. It's
not even lunchtime.
Yeah. By the time you sort of got yourself organised and everything, you probably about 11:30, so it's probably getting close. But
We did have a big breakfast that we
Yeah,
focused on, so we don't need to be fruiting, I guess.
But we can still keep our eyes out for mushrooms.
You can.
Get a sideways look.
Hit was just filling the awkward void.
It's an awkward void.
There would have been if Hit didn't speak.
This is going to be a thing now, guys, I swear it.
Awkward void.
Just check out the beginning of every one of our streams.
Y'all be quiet. We're talking too much now.
Right.
Consistency. We're always looking at our character sheets going, where the fuck did we leave off?
I just read a recap, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, but still, we've got to sit there and read through it. It's like, that's... fuck.
Isn't it more of which character am I this time?
Yeah, well, true. I mean, we do play.
Are
we?
A lot of us do play multiple characters. So, but with that, you guys start your journey, heading towards the northern part of the city, talking and walking. I need everyone to roll a perception check for me. Just
Speaking of that character sheet.
be prepared.
Perception. Yes!
Naemaris.
I'm looking for mushrooms too much. I only rolled an 11.
That's not too bad. Hit
22.
22. Alessandros.
11.
Sadiq.
9.
9. And Yldry.
5.
Wow. So Yldry and Alessandros. What did you roll again?
11.
11. So now Yldry and Sadiq. kind of preoccupied. You do notice that there is a city guard of Paham patrol. 4 guards. Doesn't look like they've seen you, but they're doing, looks like probably just a routine patrol around the city walls. Because you've now, by this time, you've probably starting to see the city wall, and it looks like they sort of have started patrolling a few hundred feet around the city exterior as part of their increased efforts to obviously stop any attacks from undead demons, such that have been happening across the realms in the past month or so. They look reasonably alert, but they haven't seen you at this point.
Hit looks to the group and says, "No need to be alarmed, but there is a Paham patrol just over there for those who haven't seen it yet."
Shouldn't we go up and introduce ourselves?
Yes, that is, I mean, absolutely. They should know who we are by now, but sure.
I was thinking keep low profile, not alert the near doers or the bad people that we're here.
We're here to take out the Fang, right?
Yes.
Who cares about the troll?
Well, Fang's going to be watching from everywhere.
Yeah. They're going to know we're here, so we might as well just show up and start bashing heads together.
Well,
But we do. Sorry, Yldry.
I was kind of thinking we should be stealthy.
Stealth, not really my thing.
Paham's like
as you
a town
look
that
at
we don't want to
Sadiq, you
take out
notice
everyone.
he's wearing a lot of jangly armor. He's making a reasonable amount of noise anyway.
Stealth, not really my thing. Subtlety,
All right,
not really my thing.
let's
Don't we-
walk in.
To go into town, I mean, they
Right,
don't need to know why we're here. They just because we're here to take them out, they don't know that. We could just
Yeah,
be
we
here on a
don't-
visit.
You guys know that you don't need to go into town. The entrance to the
Oh, we
catacombs
don't?
is on the exterior of the city. That's what was
I
on the
didn't
map.
write that down.
It's on the northern exterior of the city. So you don't actually have to enter the city wall.
But there you go. Just head straight for that. And if anyone interferes with us, they're probably a part of the Fang anyway, so we take them out too.
Sounds like an idea.
And what if it's the guard that interferes?
So just out of curiosity, guys, are you walking and talking at this point, or have you stopped and are talking quietly, loudly, or what?
I'd say probably stopped and talking quietly,
Okay.
but that's just me.
Yes, Hit would agree.
Has Sadiq stopped crunching on his apple? Because that would be
Well,
a factor.
I was going to ask that next, actually.
It's only a little apple, so a couple of bites and it's gone.
Especially with that
Um,
big half-orc Moor of yours.
Yes. You can talk about big moors.
Oh, yes. No, absolutely. It takes one to know one. That's why I throw the joke your way. It's easier that way. If I did it to one of these little mouths.
As you guys are discussing your approach and your plans, you hear probably from about 30 or 40 feet away, "Oi! Who goes there?" And Hit, as you turn towards the voice, you see the same guard, the same patrol, standing probably 5 or 6 feet apart, all in a defensive stance, looking in your direction.
Oh, hello, guards. Sadiq, Yldry, Naemaris, Ellie, do you want me to take this, or one of you want to take this?
Yeah, go for it.
Take your business.
We are, and you should know this, we are the Lions of Valond. We are here to save everyone from the disastrousness, the bad stuff. We are definitely just coming to check out your town, your city, and make sure everything is good.
1 second, he's going to roll. He looks at you and goes, "Oh yes, we heard the announcement this morning. It was is the dragon with you? I don't see any dragon.
Do I not look like a dragon to you?
Well, you're dragonborn, of course. I mean, I'm not stupid. I'm talking about the dragon, like the big thing with wings and a tail.
Oh, right, you mean Yldry.
The
Yes, she's here.
dragon, you know."
Hit bows and points at Yldry.
He looks at you and goes, "Oh, okay, not quite what I expected, but so you're here to do what, you say?
Well, we're coming into town to make sure everything is good, see that everyone is safe and has got the message, and make sure that and you're doing such a great job, but make sure that your guarding is up to standard and your walls are up to code. Your ballista, have you got ballista on your towers?
At this point, I kind of look at Hit and I'm like, well, I just thought we were here for a bit of a holiday, to be honest.
We are the Lions. We don't take holiday, Naemaris. We check things out and make sure it is good, ready for the war to come.
Yeah, he looks at you and goes, well, no ballista, but we are in the process of constructing trebuchet and such. We're not big enough for ballista. Our walls wouldn't hold them, unfortunately. But you're welcome to inspect them, I guess. And they sort of, you see them relax a bit more at this point and return to a more, it's not 100% sort of at ease kind of thing. They're still, weapons are gripped. They're all carrying pikes and shields. Weapons are still gripped as if they would be ready at a moment's notice if something did happen, but they seem more relaxed at seeing sort of who you guys are, because they were able to, these ones seemed like they had recognized you specifically here, and probably as you guys get closer or they get closer to you, they'll probably recognize the rest without too many hassles either.
Excellent. We shall inspect. I'll tell the underlings to inspect the non-dragons of us. Ali, Naemaris, Sadiq, we shall head in to inspect.
What are you inspecting?
The equipment, the goods.
I just look at Hit at this point and I'm like, what are you talking about? Did you just call us underlings?
Did I? I probably. Either way, thank you. Good day, soldiers, and we shall do our job.
Soldiers sort of look at you. They look at Naemaris, who's looking at you rather weirdly.
Telepathically, Hit says in Naemaris' head, "Just go with it. We don't want to be stuck here at the gate."
I telepathically say back to Hit, "What the fuck?"
Pay me back later.
And with that, the guards sort of, after a few moments of scratching their heads and sort of giving you guys a sideways look, they do carry on with their patrol, leaving you guys to your devices and to carry on heading towards your destination. After what seems like maybe 35-40 minutes, you move past the main city gate, which is on the northeastern side of the city, moving further around to the northern side. It takes you a little bit of time. The entrance is very well hidden. It was marked on your map. The mark wasn't precise. It took you a few minutes to find this bush, which is, it's a low-lying shrub, but it's attached to it. Definitely from a distance it looks really good. It's got berries and stuff on it. It looks like a regular bush that grows in this area. You've seen other ones that look like it, but as you get closer to it, you can see that the berries are tied on to what looks like a type of fabric leaf and wire sort of shroud. As you sort of look beneath it, you can see the trapdoor, which has been covered with dirt and such. As you lift it up, the dirt doesn't come off the trapdoor. It looks like it's been glued there with maybe some sort of pitch or something like that to keep this thing as hidden as possible. Do you descend into the cavern below, which is a ladder of about 25 to 30 feet, descending into the blackness below?
Can I check the area for not incantations?
For thieves can't?
Yeah.
You do, and you can, in fact. On the there is a small tree to the right of the bush, which just all it says in Thieves Can't is, which would say to you, is basically safe house. It's a symbol for the safe house symbol for you. thieves. And it's got a small arrow which is pointing to that particular.
Alrighty, go down, I guess.
So
You go first, Ellie.
you descend down the ladder into pitch blackness. It is dark. You get about halfway down the ladder before the light from the trapdoor above is swallowed into darkness. As you descend to the base of the ladder, the light from the trapdoor is very, very dim. You can't see more than 5-6 feet down the corridor. You have dark vision with your goggles on, Ellie. Even with your dark vision, it's probably 15-20 feet is about all you can see. There is no other light source apart from this.
Ali, would you like me to cast?
I was just going to say, would you like one of us to light a torch?
You wanted to say something?
I was just going to ask Ali. I can cast light on one of your pieces of equipment that you can hold out. It will last for an hour, and then you could pocket it again if you want to hide.
How about you cast it on yourself? That way I get more light, and I can sneak into the shadows when I want.
I can see perfectly fine.
Yeah, but I want the shadows to sneak into, not disappear.
Okie dokie. I will cast light on my lute. I bring my lute forth. I strum it and I say, "Hit the lights!" Da-da-da-da-da-da.
And with that, hits lute illuminates 20-foot bright light and 20-foot dim. And you now, as you all descend this 30-foot ladder into the cabin below, you are standing in a corridor that's about 20 feet wide. It is about 20 to 25 foot high in some sections. It is looks like it's definitely been man-made, but it has been carved out of the earth. There is wooden structures, not unlike any kind of mine tunnel. So you got wooden framing every probably 50 feet or so. There looks to be places where torches have been placed, but none are there at the moment. Hit, what is the range of your vision?
120 feet.
So as you glance down this corridor, it is dead straight, or more than you can see. It runs you to the end of your vision and into blackness, but it's still straight from what you can see. You do see the occasional crate and barrel against the wall as you look down this corridor, but it is a very long, straight corridor.
We keep moving, Ali.
Keep moving, looking for traps.
Hit will also, traveling behind Ali, look for traps with his better keen vision.
So Alessandro, roll investigation with your proficiencies and such added for your trap finding skills, and investigation also. Muted
Tash.
Muted Alessandros.
Do I get advantage on that or no?
You do not.
Okay.
You get a d20 plus your dex plus your proficiency.
It's still a natural
it's
one.
investigation plus your proficiency. A natural one.
Do DM's inspiration?
No. Do I have luck? No.
No. So guys in the chat, do remember that you can, with your channel points, give a luck or an inspiration to a player of your choice. Click on the gold coin at the bottom of the chat and then redeem it. And in the chat, post who you wish to give that inspiration or luck to, and you can give it to the DM also, just so you know. With that, yeah, Alessandros, you're looking around and you really can't see anything that would suggest any kind of trap at this point.
I've been partying too long, haven't I?
Hit, your investigation, please.
Hits wasn't much better with a 4, making it a total of 7.
Yeah, Hit, you've been in a dungeon or two now, and you've generally seen a few traps, but you're still not really sure what you're looking for. And neither one of you seem to find any traps at this point.
Looks safe here, Ellie. Let's carry on through.
Yep, definitely looks safe. Let's go.
All right, I trust you guys.
We trust us too.
Don't forget, I think we're supposed to meet someone down here. So,
Yes. We are keeping our eyes out for someone.
You do know her race. You've been told that she is a centaur.
Yeah. Is that Leon?
Leondogus. You know her name, you know her race. You know that she is sympathetic to Garrick's cause, but she is also a neutral party. This whole... So, again, depending on how you deal with her will determine what happens.
wonder. Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Wonder how she got down in these catacombs, because that was a long ladder. Being
I
a
think
centaur.
there's more than one way to get here.
Oh,
Yeah, this will be like the secret entrance. There's probably like a main door where everyone fits.
oh.
Maybe.
I mean, Yldry, you know that there is such a thing as polymorph.
Well, that's true.
So there's all sorts of way to get in spaces where you don't fit.
All right, carry on.
Just thought I'd put that out there. So you guys start moving forward, and you move forward maybe 50 or 60 feet before... Who can we get a order of movement, please?
I guess I'm in the front.
So Ali and Het in the front, if you were both investigating for traps initially, I'd imagine.
Correct.
We'll be in the
who-
middle.
Yldry in the middle, Sadiq, and you don't have to be in a line. You can be grouped. It's a 20 feet wide sort of corridor, so you can be sort of grouped together. But so Het and Alessandro's in the front. You get about 50 or 60 feet down the corridor when what's your passive perceptions, guys? Het and Alessandro.
I'm 19.
19.
And hit is 15.
So, Alessandros, you'd be the first to hear it. You step forward, the ground beneath your feet is a little bit softer than it has been. You start hearing a small clicking sound above you to your left. And as you glance up to see where the sound is coming from, I need you and Het to make a dexterity saving throw, please. As a volley of crossbow bolts are fired from the darkness above. Het, your save, please.
So, with a natural 1, that's a total of 6.
Shit. Natural 1 from Het. Critical fail. As Het sees Alessandros move and instantly just turns and looks in the same direction and cops a 3 crossbow bolts in the chest, which knocks you prone and against the wall opposite. You will take, let's see here, roll my dice. You will take... you will take 10 points of piercing damage as you are struck in the chest by 3 crossbow bolts and are knocked prone against the wall opposite. Alessandros, your roll, please.
20.
Yes, the 3 crossbow bolts that struck Het should have hit you, but you managed to dodge ever so expertly and almost Matrix style. You just arch your back and sort of lean backwards, looking upside down at Het as he gets struck in the chest by these crossbow bolts.
Gonna yell out to Het and rush over to him and see if he's okay. Try and help him up.
Oh, yeah, thanks for the warning, Allie.
Sorry, Het wasn't quick enough.
Oh no, you were quick enough. It was me that wasn't quick enough. But that's okay. Is everyone else good? Did I take the fall for everyone?
Yeah, we're good.
Yes.
Do you need healing, or are you good so far?
Oh no, I'm good. And Het will break them off and leave them in his body at this point. Break them off.
No problem. So what do you break them off with? because they're not arrows; they're crossbow bolts. They're a lot
they're-
shorter and
that's a
a
good point.
little bit more stout than an arrow. Do you attempt to break them off by hand?
I think that would be the natural thing for Het. He would just try and snap him off by hand.
So just give me an overall strength check, just a basic strength, see if you are successful.
The way it's going tonight, this could be
Oh
good.
no, if you get another natural 1, it's going to be rather funny.
No, I didn't get a natural 1. I got a 2. So 2 plus 0 is 2.
So with that, you reach up and grab them and you try them. They're very well made. They're not steel, but they're very thick wooden shafts. And you can't seem to break them. And yeah, it hurts a little bit. Naemaris.
Het, would you like a hand? I've got hand axe. I could kind of chop them off for you.
Oh my god.
Naemaris, as much as you wielding an axe in front of me is as alluring as it could be, I think I will just maybe... Fiala, do you just pull them out for me, please?
Oh, okay.
Strength check,
I'm
please,
gonna
Fiala.
do 1, 2, and then 2 a pull.
Okay, so,
Yeah,
so on the
maybe
count of
Naemaris
3,
could
1,
want
2,
to.
pull.
I'll
And
give you a hand if you like.
with advantage, strength check with advantage, as Naemaris will give you a hand.
Oh. What fell off? 15. That's the
15?
higher one.
So with that, you reach down and you grab hold of the first crossbow bolt. You look at Het and you say to him, right, hold on, this might hurt. And you go, on the count of 3, 1, and then you pull on 2. So he's not expecting it. And it comes out, but Het, it hurts. It's rather painful.
It sure does.
You look at the end of the crossbow bolt and the arrowhead is very jagged and it's got a very steep point on the reverse. So it's done another further point of slashing damage as it is removed from your chest. 2 to go.
All right, I'm ready for the next one.
The second one, same thing. She's on the count of 3. This time just pulls it without saying anything. And same thing, you take another further 1 point of slashing damage as the arrow is removed.
Okay, hold on a second. Hold on for this last one. I just gotta take a deep breath because that was really fucking painful. Whew. Okay. All right. Okay, go.
Does anyone have whiskey? I'm just gonna as I'm asking, I'm just like, whew.
And with that, she removes the third. This one doesn't do as much damage. You don't take any damage as it's removed. The wound was they were quite closely grouped together, so the opening of the wounds of the first 2 has opened the wound enough that the third one was able to be removed without any further damage.
In the chest, you said, right?
In the chest.
Crap,
a
guys.
very tight grouping.
This is my new armor too. What a fucking piss off.
Well, it worked.
Yeah, I mean,
Anyone have mending?
Maybe
well, yeah, I can do that, but I'm not gonna bother. I'll fix it later.
City can cauterize it for you, I think.
So-
yeah.
What?
Pull out
So
my dagger and go, I can do that.
While they're
No.
all doing that, I'm investigating that trap just to make sure it doesn't set off again and check for more.
Roll investigation, this time with advantage because you know the trap's there. So roll your dexterity plus d20 plus dex plus proficiency with advantage.
And Het will just frostbite his wounds so they don't bleed out. He does not want any heat anywhere near them.
Fair enough. So with that, what is-
25.
25. So as you sort of feel around the ground where you stepped and you move some of the dirt away and you do find a small pressure plate. It's just a wooden pressure plate. You lift it with your dagger and you see that the mechanism is fully depressed still. It looks like it has was a one-time use kind of trap. So with that, you guys compose yourselves and continue forward. Het, as you're moving forward, you then, as the darkness reveals itself, you find that the cavern starts to make a slight left-hand turn as you're moving down the inside of this cavern. You venture forward further still, Anyone else? Are you still investigating for traps in this next section?
Yes. Yes.
Alessandros, you make an investigation, please.
No traps. No traps at all.
What was your investigation?
Well,
I'm assuming 12's not bad.
but okay, just to clarify. So, with my perception, it's +9.
Yes. But this is an investigation, not perception.
Sorry, a +10.
Yes. So you rolled a 2.
Yeah. Do I add the proficiency to that
Yes,
as well?
you add the proficiency
Okay.
on top.
Okay, that's 16 then.
Yeah, so that's not bad. Yeah. So even though you've got proficiency on your investigation, because you're looking for something that you specifically know about, I'm allowing you to add your proficiency again. So 16, which is better.
Hang on. Shut up, Rooster.
Rogues, man. This is rogues and their investigations and perceptions, and the fact that they're almost level 12. So with that, Ellie, you check around floor, wall, ceiling, and you find a thieves' cant symbol for a fire trap on the right hand wall. You look around the floor and you find another small pressure plate buried just under the shallow dirt.
Alright. I suppose it would be sleight of hand for disarm, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would.
$16.
And we'll say that is a success. But you managed to succeed. You had a moment there where you thought you might have set it off, but then you hear that faint clicking sound as the mechanism is disarmed.
Yay, Trash, you got one. I mean, yay, Allie, you got one.
Who's this trash you speak of?
Actually, that would be the first trap ever, wouldn't it?
Yes.
From memory, I think that is the first one you've actually successfully disarmed.
Trap you have
in the
ever
entire
found
campaign.
Fiala starts clapping for him.
and disarmed without stepping into it.
Yeah, well done. So with that, you successfully disarmed the trap and inform your crew that you found a trap. You've disarmed it.
Het uses prestidigitation to make sparks and fireworks go off like a little celebration above Ellie's head.
There's a little fireworks show in the tunnels as as Ellie disarms the trap. You continue forwards down around the left-hand bend and then around a slight right-hand bend. And as you crest the right-hand bend, you see before you a opening. In the opening is a large door. To the right of this large door is a 7.5 foot tall centaur. To the left of the door is what looks like a humanoid figure, about 9 feet tall, almost about 6.5 feet across the shoulders. Looks like it's made from iron. You can see the arcane purple glow of its eyes emanating from inside this helmet-like structure, a helmet-like thing on its head. Not moving, but with that, the centaur herself then steps forward. Just 2 or 3 steps, you hear the hooves on the concrete floor and the dirt. She's carrying a halberd, a long bladed weapon, and looks forward and sees you first hit as you round the corner. She goes, "Visitors, some of which we've not had for quite some time. Are you sure you wish to travel further this way?"
Het bows deeply and says, Yes, we do. I am Hit, and these are my friends, Ali, Fiela, Naemaris, and Sadiq. We wish to pass through here. We were actually given your name. Are you Leondogius?
My name is Leondogius Orentia. And I'm pleased to meet you. You say you have been sent. Why would you have been sent into the lion's den?
That's a good question. That could be to do... That actually kind of suits well because we are the lions. Does that make this our den? Anyway, I'm monologuing. Sadiq, do you want to take this?
Hey, no, you're doing good.
Okay. Right. So, we are here to...
As you start speaking, she holds her hand up and to stop you and looks directly at you, Alexandros, and speaks to you in a language that none of you can understand but Alexandros. And she says, the traitor returns home. They are waiting for you. Are you sure you wish to do this?
I have no choice. It's something that needs to be done.
Well, you have chosen your side at least. And with that she then speaks back in common. Forgive me for interrupting. So, who has sent you? And why should I let you pass?
Garrick has sent us.
Eric. He's ambitious. Wishes to take the guild in a different direction than its current leadership. As if at this time she says to you, and again, I ask, why should I let you pass?
Because you're muted, Allie.
I got no idea.
Quickly now, we do not have all day.
As I said before, it's something I must do.
There are things we all must do, young Alessandro. You made your choice. Now you suffer the consequences, of course.
Of course.
And she moves forward a few more feet, and you now moves into, there is a couple of torches lit, and you can now hit. You would have seen her more clearly than the others, but now she moves into the light. She's got very long auburn hair. She's wearing a headband which is keeping it out of her eyes. She's wearing half plate armor, big breastplate, which is you can see it's seen a few battles. It's a few battle scars, so it's definitely not for decoration. As I said, she's carrying a halberd with her. Her lower body is that of a horse, an equine body, and her body color matches her hair, a very auburn colored body going down the legs into dark brown, almost black down to the hooves, and her hooves are quite black. Stands approximately about 7.5 feet tall at the front of her body. She holds herself very upright and rigid, very proud, very attractive features, smooth skin, pale. And she sort of looks over at the figure on the other side of the wall, then gazes back at you guys and says, well, I have a task. You can solve my riddle. I shall let you pass. But you fail to solve it in the time allotted. One of you must face me in single combat. The winner of which, of course, If you win, you'll be allowed entrance. If you do not, then I'll say probably not to leave this place. Do you accept?
I'd accept that if that's alright with everybody.
I think we accept.
Yes,
You-
It's like we don't have any choice.
I agree. The choice is really minimal.
You'll have just 2 minutes to solve this riddle. And she produces from underneath her a little sort of satchel on the side. She produces a small hourglass, and she holds it up and says, "This timer will determine your time. Are you ready?" I will say this only once, so be prepared. I am the beginning of everything, the end of everywhere. I am the beginning of eternity, the end of time and space. What am I?
E.
And she turns her hourglass over.
I think you're E.
Is that your answer?
Does everybody else think that's okay?
Do we get more than one answer? Are we allowed to say more than one?
No, I don't think so. I think the idea is we have 2
Once-
minutes to solve the riddle.
Once you have answered, that is it. Your time is ticking.
So you're
Can you
saying
say that again?
she said only once. Yeah. Beginning of everywhere, which is E, like you say.
Eternity.
Eternity.
I'm the beginning of everything. I am the end of
Everything.
everywhere. I'm the beginning of eternity and the end of time and space.
E.
It does seem pretty good, the letter E. Fiela, you agree?
I agree. Wow, Naemaris.
That was pretty impressive, Naemaris.
Wow.
Sadiq, do you have any other answer?
I think the riddle broke, Sadiq.
Ali, how about you?
I'll just look for traps.
You have 1 minute left. What is your
Let's
answer?
go. We'll do it. Yeah.
Naemaris, answer.
You are the letter E.
She looks at you in quiet contemplation, and she picks up the timer and places it back in her bag. She then looks at the whole group and says, "You have chosen wisely. You are correct. Well done. But you still must face me to combat." No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm sorry.
Bring it on.
I have a six.
Lady.
I don't get to speak to many people. Okay, I'm sorry, but of course, you, the one that answered my riddle.
Yes.
I'll ask one favor of you before I let you pass.
Sure.
I need you to hit me as hard as you can.
You really want me to hit you as hard as I can?
Yes, because if you do not, they will know that I let you pass.
Oh,
And
okay
if you
then.
lose, they will kill me.
Alright, come here then.
Well, she doesn't come to you. She wants you to come to her. Remember,
Right,
she's
well,
7 feet
running
tall.
up, I'm gonna hit her.
So she's 7 feet tall, so she does sort of bend down a little bit. So you don't need to roll to hit because she's offering for you to hit her. So I will just need you to make a strength check to see how hard you are able to hit her. And it is just a straight roll. You are no longer at any kind of disadvantage. But your strength will be your roll will be at a -1.
Really?
Such a beautiful centaur.
15, 16, 17.
17. Was that with the -1?
Yep.
So with that, you watch as Naemaris strolls up, bolt upright, and just cocks back that right hand and just slams her fist into the jaw of this beautiful centaur lady.
I'm sorry. I didn't really want to do that.
And her head rocks back. You hear that dull thud as you bone hits bone, and she rocks forward, rocks sideways, and then as she comes back, you can see the bruise starting to form already. You didn't knock her out, and she just looks at you and then and actually bows quite deeply, and then just moves to one side and waves her hand, and the door opens, and then slowly opens, and then she waves for you to pass.
I say thank you as I walk past. Hope that doesn't bruise too badly.
This is fine. Taken far worse.
As we pass, it says, when we win, I can heal that up for you.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much. I hope you do. Or things do need to change. And with that, as you all pass the threshold of the door slowly closes behind you. Once again, plunging you into pitch blackness. Do you still have your light spell up?
Yeah, I'd relight it if it went dim.
You'd still be able to see in the dark anyway. But you are now faced with another corridor, which, as you look down the corridor, splits into two. One going left, one going right.
Well, you could have got directions, Naemaris.
We should have done that.
Maybe we should have asked directions before we came through, huh?
Maybe that would have been a good idea, but can you see anything written anywhere, Ali?
Look for the marks.
Roll investigation.
And traps.
Roll investigation for the thieves can't at advantage because you know exactly what you're looking for. Roll for traps separately.
Okay, advantage, so I've got to roll twice, do I?
Roll 2d20 to take the highest.
I'll take that one, 25.
So it doesn't take you long to you search the area and you notice there is a rune or a thieves' cant symbol which leads you to believe that the right fork is the fork take.
So I go the right. You go right.
The right's
Yes,
right.
Yes.
All right. Right, to go.
So you and your investigation for traps as you move forward, please.
While this is happening, DM,
Yes.
Het will pull forth Killick from the void in spider form. Get him to go along the roof,
Okay.
following us from above. Also invisible.
Duly noted.
27.
27. As you search this inner sanctum of the walls, this corridor is a little bit narrower than the one you've just come from. It is definitely better constructed. The floors are more cobblestone, like carved stone, rather than just dirt. And looking around, you don't believe that there probably will be any traps in this particular area because it is the inner sanctum. You get the impression that not many people would actually get past Leondogus if she did not want them to.
So, I tell them all this, and so do we want to stealth it the rest of the way? Not that Sadiq can too well. Or
As
we
I've
just,
said before, stealth ain't my thing, man.
or we send Sadiq in, and some of us stealth it to surprise them, maybe.
He could be bait. I like this.
I could help you, Sadiq, if we want to stealth. If you think you need some aid, I can give you a little bit of that.
And Naemaris as well.
I can play I can only aid one of you at this point, but I can play a lovely little song that will help inspire you when you go into your stealth mode.
Hey, do you realize I'm wearing two pairs of armors? Have 2 swords on my back, a dagger, and a bow.
And I am a big fat dragonborn, but I manage.
Good point.
What if I wild shaped into something and then kind of put him in my mouth and carried him like a frog or something?
You what?
I mean, it wouldn't jingle.
How about we just don't worry about stealth? You know, they probably know we're here anyway.
True.
It's at this
Ellie.
point. It's at this point, Ellie. You get a message, which simply says, "Don't waste our time.
Okay,
Ellie,
we're
you're
going in.
here. Follow the corridor. Make the next left. Then the next right. Come through the double doors. Be waiting."
Alright, let's go, people.
Well, Ellie, you're all of a sudden in a
Where are we
hurry.
What was that?
Where are we going?
No one heard that message but you, Alessandros.
I'm going there.
We'll just follow you then.
Yeah, that works.
Do you tell them the message that you received?
Yes.
Now you will know.
Oh, so they know we're here. Well, that Sneak, you were right.
I had a feeling. So I'm just told.
So we must win this, otherwise they're going to kill Leondogenus or Entheania. I feel bad for her now. She didn't really need to get that punch.
No, I think she did.
Alright, lead the way, Ellie. It's butt whooping time.
So
lead
you
the
proceed
way.
forward, following the instructions of the mysterious female voice that was just interjected into your head. And after maybe 10 or 15 minutes, you do find yourselves now standing in front of a double oaken door. Large iron strapping and iron border around its frame.
We'll open the door, Ellie. We're waiting for you.
Open the door.
You step forward and you push open the door. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, shit.
15.
15. You are not quite quick enough as you push open the door, both hands on the doors, you push it forward, and as you give it a bit of a shove to have them swing open, again, a series of darts fire from both sides of the door frame. 3 striking you in your right thigh, and 1 in your upper shoulder. 2 striking your left thigh, and 1 in your upper neck area on the left side. You will also need to make a Constitution saving throw, please. You will take 12 points of piercing damage. You'll need to make a con save. Well,
And that's a 13.
that is also a failure. You will take a further 6 points of poison damage and are now poisoned as well. As the poison starts to course through your veins, your eyes cloud over for a second, and you almost drop to one knee, but you manage to recover. You're intelligent enough to know that you think to yourself, shit, I should know better. Knowing where you are, knowing who you're dealing with, you know they're not going to fight fair. And you have inadvertently triggered a trap that was set for you, and all you hear, all of you can now hear this from in the darkness at the back of this large room. You're the only one that can probably see clearly enough to see this person. There is a woman, a hooded woman, sitting on a stone throne of sorts at the very back of this large round room, and she just says, "Come now, Alessandros. You should know better than..." Come now. We know why you're here. Let's not delay this any further, shall we? Please, join us. And when she says this, you look around the room as you step forward to the doorway. You can't see anybody else. Just her.
Also, as Head steps forward, he puts his hand on Ali, and he says, "Mother of Mercy, cure what ails." And he casts Lesser Restoration on Ali to remove the condition.
You probably wouldn't realise she has been affected by any poison at this point.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
It would have been more of a healing word.
Yeah, so I'll allow the healing word. But yeah, you probably wouldn't have realised that the darts were poisoned. Ali probably doesn't even realise she's poisoned at this point. But you are, so you have to mark the poison condition. But yeah,
That's
so
seven
points of
health.
healing. So you recover 7 points of healing. So do you all move forward into the room as instructed?
Correct.
Yep.
So as you step forward, what you are greeted with is a large, round room. I'm just going to turn my light on so I can see, so I can describe it. It is probably 120, 130 feet in diameter. It is all carved stone, the interior. Around the exterior of this room, on one side, there's a series of bookshelves and cupboards. As I say, a stone platform with this hooded woman sitting on it, sort of on a two-stepped up raised platform, almost like a throne, somewhat. On the right-hand side of the room is a couple of tables, some barrels and crates, but that's all you see. There is maybe 2 or 3 torches lit in this room, lots of dark shadows. Even with your ability to see in absolute pitch blackness, you look around and in the shadows it doesn't appear to be anyone hiding. You don't appear to see anyone at this point. But you all distinctly heard her say "we," even though it appears that she is the only one in the room.
Head makes sure Kalek is at his side, still invisible, still in spider form.
Duly noted.
Can I do a investigational perception?
What are
See
you
if
looking for specifically?
Well, I'm assuming, basically, last encounter that we had with them. Hang on. Bix decided to wanted to chat with me. The last encounter we had with them, there was 2 of them, so I'm assuming I'm looking for a second.
You know there's 3 of them because they are triplets. That's the information you were
3.
given.
Yeah, 3 of them. So yeah, I'll be.
So you can roll a perception check to see if you can see potentially where the other 2 may be. Because all you see is you can see the torches lit, but you've got these lots for you. For those of you that don't have the ability that Het has, which is the ability to see in complete darkness, even those with dark vision, from where you are, there is a lot of shadows in this room where potentially people could be hiding. So your perception, Alessandros, please.
24.
24. As you look around this room, straining to see into the shadows, all you see is this woman on this throne, which you can only surmise is the Kendra, the sister of the trio. Are you doing anything at this point? All she said is what she said, and you guys have slowly moved into the room. That's what you see. She hasn't said anything else at this point.
Just a question with the great bow that I have.
Yes.
I don't get the plus 2d8 yet, do I?
You have not attuned to it, no.
But I can fire it as normal.
You can fire it as a normal bow, yeah.
So, okay, cool.
What are you doing, guys? Are you going to say anything, do anything?
Well, I give no quarter. I fire it at her with the bow.
You fire the bow?
Yep.
Roll to hit.
23.
You lift your bow, you draw it, you fire it. You know that you're going to hit. You have fired a bow dozens of times before. You know what it feels like when you fire a good arrow. You fire it, and she's sitting there with her hands sort of partially clasped in front of her. The arrow flies through the air towards her, and in a flash, she reaches out and grabs it. Right before it strikes her in the chest. Literally just snatches it. Looks at it, looks at you, drops it to the floor, and then gives you a light clap and a sly smile. You're improving. Still no match for us. And with that, we will roll initiative.
Just before we roll, can I just say, us? Thought there were supposed to be 3 of you.
And she ignores you. With that, we will have Alessandra, your initiative, please.
21.
21. Hit your initiative. You are muted too.
Hit has 20 and Killick has 13.
Keep forgetting about Killick. I'm going to have to put him in the initiative. Second. Killick has a 13 initiative. Gala.
11.
11. And why is Naemaris still there? Holy crap. 1 second. I have to make a slight alteration to this encounter because I made it before Naemaris came back. The only thing with the encounter, some of these initiative trackers, they don't update when characters leave and come back. So, Ali, yours was a 21, Hit, yours was a 20, Collect was a 13.
Correct.
Naemaris.
I rolled a 15.
15. Fiela.
11.
11. And Sadiq. 4. Well done, sir. Collect was a 13. Add him. Right, so Alessandris, you get the top of the initiative. As you guys step forward into the room, once again, badoosh. You step forward into the room, and right at the top of the room there, you can just see her. Move this forward slightly. You can actually see where she is. You guys have just entered the room. You can see the chair at the top, very top of the map there. She is approximately 70, 80 feet away from where you currently are. Your arrow did not succeed, your first arrow, but you have the top of the initiative order. You're muted, Trash.
Because I haven't said anything yet. That's right, I get 2 attacks, don't I? Yes, I do. Awesome.
Oh,
So,
no Naemaris on that one.
so, getting the bow ready again. attacking with the bow with 20. But I should have said that first. Where'd it go? Shadow arrow. I'm using shadow arrow.
Shadow arrow. Do you notice?
Yes. So that's an extra 2d6.
What was your hit?
20.
20, that does hit.
Okay, so the bow is 9 damage with the bow. And 6 with the shadow arrow, that's psychic damage. And must pass a wisdom save of 14.
Wisdom save. He passes with a 16.
And I'm doing a second attack. With this, basically doing the same tactics again.
Are you able to cast Shadow Arrow twice?
I is.
Are you sure?
Yeah. I can do 2 arcane shots.
Does it cost you an action or a bonus action to use it?
Twice per short rest and once per turn. Sorry, never mind.
Thank you.
So I'll just do a normal shot.
All good. I knew there was a restriction on it, I just couldn't remember what.
And 17 to hit.
That also hits.
Wow. And 10 damage.
And 10 points of piercing damage as your arrows find their target. This time she's not able to deflect them as she did the previous shot. She then stands on a chair, breaks the arrows off, throws the remaining part on the floor, and vanishes in a puff of black smoke. She's gone. Hit, it is now your turn as you watch the woman disappear.
Oh dear, that woman has disappeared, Allie, with you shooting at her. What shall I do? Hit pulls forth his loot. No, he does not. He pulls forth his little skull from his bag, his little grey skull. And because she's out of space and out of time, I can't target her, so it makes it tricky. And he's going to say, "Still, lady, give us death or give us glory." And he's casting Bless on all of his team members, including himself. Which means he is now concentrating also.
No problem. So we have... When I find my Bless tokens.
Just a question, DM. With my research on these people and all that, did I find out what kind of assassins they were or anything like that? Or just what I got told?
It's what you got told,
Okay.
unfortunately. I will give you a concentration token, but you will also be blessed as well.
Sweet as. Obviously, Killick does not get this. He stays invisible.
You now have your respective blessings. So is that all Hit's going to do at this point?
No, Hit will then move. Jeez.
So the big black dots are pillars that go from floor to ceiling too. And the ceiling in this room domes up to about 65 feet.
Yes, Hit will move to 5, 10, 15, 20 to the pillar. Not the one in front of him, the one opposite side of the room, just to the edge of the pillar, so he's sort of half hiding behind it.
Behind it or in front of it?
So still on the backside of it.
Done. Is Collect going to follow you hit this one?
And no, in his initiative, he will do his own thing.
Okay, cool. So with that, does that complete Hit's turn?
That is it for Hit this round. Correct.
So next up is Kendra's turn. She has vanished seemingly into thin air. Within a split second, all the torches are out. You are now plunged into darkness. With that, you all hear a scuttering and skittering on the roof. Many legs moving above you somewhere in the pitch blackness. Hit, you look up as you're the only one who can see in complete darkness, and you see a large, extremely large, arcane blue and white spider on the ceiling. It's probably on the opposite side of the room from you, probably about 80-90 feet away from you. And with that, she will then, from the darkness, I need Sadiq to make a dexterity saving throw, please. And Fiela. Actually, and Alessandros, and Naemaris. Everyone that's in the doorway. So all four of you need to make a dex save, please.
For me.
15 for you. Let me just double check something here. So Naemaris, yours was a 15. Yours is a failure. Alessandros. You're muted.
One lower than Naemaris, so 14.
So yours is also a failure. Sadiq.
25.
Success. Fiela.
Nat 1.
Failure. So, what Sadiq you see, and even Hit, you'd probably see it from where you are as well. Naemaris, Alessandros, and Fiela are now all outlined in the pitch blackness with a purple-blue hue. You guys can no longer benefit from being invisible. And you also shedding a dim light about 10 feet out from each one of you. So even Sadiq, you're kind of lit up in this particular little lightness. Yes, Naemaris, you have an issue.
No, I just looked at my sheet and apparently I have. Would that count as something that I can see while I've got advantage on dex against effects that I can see while I'm not blinded, deafened, or incapacitated.
You were in complete darkness, so you would not have been able to see it.
So blinded. Okay.
Kind of. You weren't blinded, but you were in complete blackness. So
yeah, no,
same effect almost. Yeah. So no, you wouldn't have seen it coming, unfortunately. And that will end her turn. Naemaris, it's now your turn. You can now see for about 10 feet. Do you have dark vision? No. So all you can see is this. You've got now. You seem to be glowing with a sort of strange purpley blue light. You can see about 10 feet in either direction. You are close enough to Sadiq and Fiela and probably Alessandros to sort of just make out their forms. So obviously Fiela and Alessandros you can make out because they're also showing this same strange glow that you are. It is now your turn.
Rage. A bonus action, I'm going to rage and I'm going to hold.
You're very quiet.
I am going to rage and then I'm going to hold my turn.
You can't hold your turn, you can hold an action. So you bonus action rage.
Yeah,
So what are you going to hold your action
for?
Specifically, it has to be triggered.
Somebody comes at me.
Okay. No problem. So you have raged. You are aware that you will lose your rage if you are not attacked or attack in your next turn, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I'll just move to the middle of the room.
So you're just gonna just walk forward blindly into the pitch black room.
Yep.
Okay. Full movement.
Yeah, may as well.
So you've just walked forward. You get the glow sort of helps you see the floor around you, so you're not going to trip over anything or walk anything. You've just moved into the centre of the room. The outside, towards the centre of the room. The outside of the room is still everything outside of that 10 or so feet is just pitch black at this point. With that is your turn, I believe.
That is
Kilik is up next with Fiala on board after that.
Kilik is going to. He's on the floor in spider form at the moment. He's going to revert to his imp form and remain invisible and stay right where he is.
No problem. Fiala, it is your turn.
I have 2 questions. Is Het the only one that saw the spider up above?
Yes. He is the only one that can see in complete darkness.
Okay.
Actually, do you in your do you have blind sight at all?
As Fiala or as Yldry?
Check both. I know dragons have dark vision.
I do have blind sight for 60 feet as Yldry.
You would not be able to see the spider. It is outside of the 60 feet range.
All right.
So you can hear it. Everyone can hear the skittering on the ceiling above, but only Het has seen it at this stage.
Also, is the floor and ceiling made of stone, or what is it made of?
Looks like it's made of carved stone. It's definitely man-made from what you saw before the lights went out.
Well, that's not going to help me. All right, I will cast my healing spirit stag, and I'll put it out.
Whereabouts are you going to put it?
I'll put it out by in between Het and I think that's me with the. In between us.
You're here at the back. You're actually off camera at the moment, so.
Yeah. I'll put it near everybody so that I can. Yeah, that looks good. So that I'll have it at the ready.
So this ethereal stag appears in the room, and I'll say it'll give off 10 foot of dim light as well as it appears in the room. Het, you are probably the first to see it as it starts to form right in front of you there. Alessandros and Sadiq, you also see the ethereal stag materialize and take shape in the room.
Yeah, and then just as a bonus action, I'll just put on my earring ascending and say, if you need healing, just stand in the stag, and that's probably me because I'll hold.
No worries. Are you going to hold the rest of an action?
No, I might move by where Kalek is behind that pillar.
No problem. Done. So next up is the brothers' turn. With that, the brothers, then one appears next to you, Het, the other next to Fiala, as if stepping out of the shadows, and they both attack. So Het, the first attacks are at you. He makes 2 attacks with his shadow sword. As he steps out of the shadows, you notice the extension of shadow aura, both hands in the shape of a sword. So he will first attack with a 22.
That is a hit.
Second attack with a 10, so that one will probably miss.
That one misses.
But you will take 10 points of slashing damage and 14 points of necrotic damage.
Oh, 14 as well. Crikey. Het will, he's going to Arctic Rebuke, the first one.
Oh, sorry, and 15 points of poison damage.
Whew.
I forgot that one.
Okay, that is a lot of damage. That is good to see.
That is a lot of damage. So Hellas, Arctic Rebuke.
Arctic
As a
Rebuke,
reaction.
and he's going to Arctic Rebuke at 3rd level.
And the save for that is?
Dex save.
Dex save. So that will be a 23 on the Dex save.
So you take half as much on the of the damage.
No problem.
Which I will roll now. That is 18 and a half, so 9.
So
9
points
cold damage.
of cold damage as this warrior, this drought, and you can now looking at him with your blind sight, you look into the face of this drow wearing dark leather armor. His hood is down. You can see his dark ashen grey skin, his light blue eyes, and these shadowy swords as he comes through, first slashing down with his right hand down towards your waist, then backhand striking with the other coming across your chest, and instantly you feel the pain of the blades cutting and almost completely ignoring your armor. Then the magical damage that follows, a shock of dark energy shoots through your chest, and then the pain and pang of almost like a hunger pan hits the pit of your stomach as the poison seeps in. You are not poisoned, however. You don't have the poison condition, just to be clear. And with that, the moment that he finishes a strike, he vanishes once again into the shadows. His brother now gets his turn at Fiala. Same thing, 2 strikes, Fiala. The first is a 23. The second is a 14.
14 misses.
So 14, so 1 hit again. First, you take 11 points of slashing damage as the sword that does hit you strikes true. You then feel again that dark energy seep through the wound, and you take a further 9 points of necrotic damage. Then the poison hits with a further 14 points of poison damage. And the same thing happens. The moment the strike is over, he takes half a step backwards and vanishes into the shadow. You do not get an attack of opportunity, just to be clear, as it is clear that they are somehow porting in and out of the darkness. With that, Sadiq, it is your turn. You watched as Fiala, and from where you are, you've seen the outline of Fiala. The light from the stag has probably been enough. You can see the attack on hit, as well as these 2 figures step out of the shadows, make their attacks, and then disappear back into the shadows.
Okay.
Yes, hit. I'll need you to roll a con save too. DC half of the damage that you took.
I rolled a 20, so I think I passed.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. I mean, you took like 30 something points of damage, so you would have had to. It was like a 15 or 16 DC, so you're fine.
Yeah.
So Sadiq, your turn. Sorry, sir.
Alright, so I'm gonna activate Dawn.
Yes. So that emanates light from your sword as well.
Yes.
On which weapon, just so we're clear?
On Heavenly Execution.
Okay, so you're now emanating a bit of light as well.
Is my amulet glowing any color?
Probably nothing undead. They're not fiendish. They're evil though. I mean, they're humanoid, but it would be for something that was evil. Was it just evil, or was it just fiendish and undead? I think it was just fiend and
evil.
undead.
Well, it actually depends on.
Actually, I think it was all of them, wasn't it?
I think one was
Hang on. I got it
fiendish
written down.
fiendish and evil.
Fiendish and evil. So yeah, it would be glowing with the radiant yellow.
Yeah. Alright. So now
And
I
that
know
would have
the damage
started the
type.
moment you walked into the room.
Yeah, that's good. And I'm just gonna sit there waiting for someone to show up so I can actually punch them in the head.
No problem. And guys, because we're hitting pretty much 10:30, we're going to call our combat there, and we're going to pick up this combat next week, next Sunday night. Obviously didn't anticipate getting into combat quite so late in the show, but we will. I will leave the battle map set up as it is because I can do that, and we will pick up the next Vic. So it's going to go back to our main scene here, turn off the DM. Hello guys, I'm back. So chat, unfortunately we have reached the end of our show, but we will pick up here next week, next Sunday night, 7:30 PM New Zealand Standard Time, with the remainder of this particular combat, with the Lions of Valond battling out with the leaders of the Black Fang, the Drow triplets. So it appears thus far that the triplets have somewhat outmatched the Lions a little bit at this point. We'll see what the Lions can come up with next week to counteract this ability that they have. Before we do take off though, we are going to do our usual round robin of our players. Outstanding moments, whether it's a roleplay moment or a description moment or a combat moment, whatever, just a moment that sort of sticks in your mind from tonight's show. So Naemaris, aka Nutty Tart, any particular moment that stands out for you tonight?
I have to say Hit's description of us to the guards cracked me up a little bit, I must admit.
This was the underlings, was it?
Yes, underlings. Okay.
So his description of his companions to the Paham City Guard, definitely an interesting moment indeed. Around the cameras we go. Hit, aka Baz. A moment from you, please.
Between me and Alessandros, the crappy looking for traps slammed in the chest with fucking bolts.
I couldn't believe that you failed another trap check, Alessandros.
Trap checks.
But you managed to get one, I mean, at least. Trashman, aka Alessandros, a moment from you.
Two parts. The actually finding and disarming a trap finally, and how the fuck did you know that riddle, Morris?
Nutty, I should have known better. Nutty is really good at riddles. I should have found one slightly harder.
A little bit harder would have been.
Yeah,
good.
I mean, it's one. I didn't want to make it too hard because you only had 2 minutes to get it before the combat would have ensued. But I didn't think you'd get it quite so quickly, honestly.
I used to have a friend that we'd just back and forth with riddles. Like, he'd send me one, and I'd send him one, and it'd be like, right, so you can get the answers quickest. We used to all the time.
I will, Azalan, I will repeat the riddle for the chat again in a moment. We'll just get through this first, and I will repeat it for those that weren't here for the riddle, just so that you can, for those that are into the riddles, which a lot of us are. I enjoy a good riddle in D&D games as well, so I'll just bring it up so I can remember it. So, Sadiq, aka Mr. Beggar.
Fiela's speech was good. I enjoyed that. And also how quickly Nutty solved that puzzle. So I'm sitting there going, what? And then
I honestly thought
what?
Baz was going to get it first because Baz is real good with his puzzles too. So
I wrote it down and I was on the same track as her, but not as quick.
She just ding. Hey, what? Well, okay, yeah, sounds good.
And lastly, but certainly not leastly, Michelle, aka Yldry / Fiela.
I are consistently every clockwork awkward first 5 minutes of the game.
That has not changed in 54 episodes, guys. If you go back and watch every single VOD, every single show that's on YouTube, I do the intro, I do the recap, and then I say, over to you guys, or it's up to you, what are you guys doing? And silence.
Silence.
We got plenty of time
Every
to think,
single
and
time.
yeah.
So I will assign you guys some homework for next week. Can we please not have an awkward silence next week? Think of something to say, for Christ's sake.
No, we can't do that. It's canon now.
Well, it's probably
Do we do that at Stroud too? I think
you do a little bit in Stroud as well. Not quite as bad, I think.
Yep. You have to choose a person, Sean. You just have to say, Naemaris, you start.
I'm gonna start doing that. I might even do with the Stride campaign is actually have one of the players do the recap. Really fuck you up.
That'll be good because I can't remember my own recap.
So for me, as a DM tonight, obviously, the role play again is always top notch from you guys. The standout moment is the nutty solving of the riddle super quick, like jumping in even out of character. That was one that cracked me up. Was when she first said it's E. It was completely out of character. If it would have been in character, it would have been better, but it was completely out of character first before she realised, oh shit, hang on, wait. You see it in the face, you go, oops, no, I'm out of character. I'll wait to see what's happening. But no, the super fast solving of said puzzle was very good. Alessandros, your interaction with the Leondogus essentially there was pretty cool, and obviously where you currently are situated in the lion's den, as it were. You are facing some formidable opponents, as you've now discovered, who can dish out some pretty hefty damage if they connect. So it'll be interesting to see what happens next week. Right, chat. So for the chat who missed the riddle from the Centaur Artificer Guard that was guarding the Inner Sanctum, which is a character that Baz, using his channel points, offered to me. He gave me a Centaur Artificer by the name of Leondogus Orenthia. And yes, a shout out for Alessandros finding and disarming her first trap ever in this campaign. I think if you haven't, actually, you don't have a DN's inspiration, do you, Trash? I think I'll give you that for your first ever trap disarm. Okay, I think that
next week.
You're probably going to need it next week. Don't forget, chat. You guys have channel points which you can use to give luck or inspiration to a player of your choice. They may need it next week, so bear that in mind. I think they're definitely going to need some luck and some inspiration. But the riddle was as thus: I am the beginning of everything, the end of everywhere. I am the beginning of eternity, the end of time and space. What am I? Players don't answer, but Nutty, aka Naemaris, solved that super quick. Someone in the chat picked up on it pretty quick too.
Even before you finished it, actually.
I'm still trying to work it out. How?
There you go. Look at the words. I'm the beginning of everything. What's the first letter of everything, Trash?
Okay.
Yeah.
Now he's got it. You saw the penny drop.
Think laterally.
If you look at all the words, I'm the beginning of everything. I'm the end of everywhere. I'm the beginning of eternity and the end of time and space. Please don't make Addox solve any riddles. Challenge accepted. I'm going to make you solve plenty.
No, food riddles.
I'm going to... there will be more riddles at some point, whether it's in this campaign or the Stride campaign. I'm going to put them in. I enjoy them. We'll see if I can find something a little bit more difficult for Naemaris, I believe. The thing is, what cracks me up is would Naemaris have solved that riddle, or would
probably not?
No, I'll let you get away with it this once, but I mean, Naemaris is not. Well, Naemaris is not stupid. This is the thing.
Definitely player's thing, not a character thing.
Definitely.
Sure.
I mean, that was very evident. But the one thing I will say about Naemaris is not a stupid character. She grew up in the Arcanus, so she would have studied. even though she's a soldier and very much that brawny
With an intelligence
barbarian
of
type.
8.
Yeah, the thing is that intelligence of 8 does not mean you're stupid. This is the one thing with D&D that under 8, yes, I would say definitely your intelligence levels would drop quite dramatically if you were under 8. If you look at it from a statistics standpoint, 8 is -1 on intelligence. A 10 is 0. So even someone who is a 10 intelligence realistically on a roll is only going to really succeed maybe a tenth of the time on their rolls anyway. So the success rate is not much different from 8 to even 12 intelligence. Even to a +2 or 3, there's very little chances of you still failing. So it depends on how you want to play it. I mean, Naemaris has been playing this sort of semi-intelligent character from the start, so would she have known that riddle? Maybe something that her and the city guard have gone through. Maybe that riddling was their thing. That was just something they did on their off time. Who knows? There's definitely ways around that sort of thing. But it was definitely a nutty solve, not a Naemaris solve. But I do enjoy the fact that you guys pulled it back and discussed it, even though you'd already figured out what it was. You still discussed it as a group, as a role play group, to sort of give it a little bit more of a suspenseful sort of thing, even though it was already solved.
I think what stumped me was.
I still say Doctor Who.
I think that the thing that stumped me was that Nutty just said it so quickly, and I'm just sitting there going, what?
But we are going to raid, because we were raided and we have held over 30 viewers for our entire show this evening. We're definitely going to pass on the raid tonight, guys. Thank you so much for Legendary Action Official for the raid tonight. Make sure you go check out Legendary Action Official's channel. Show them the love, return the follow. I've done so already. Sitting on an average of 40 plus, or even better. Someone get a shout out for Legendary Action Official again, if we can, please. So we can get a link in the channel so that we know. Did you get that right? I think you did. You did. Cool. So follow that link, hit them up with a follow. Make sure that we are all checking, at least supporting them with at least a follow. It doesn't cost you anything to follow them. We're just going to check out the channel for who else is streaming here. Tainted Filth. We're gonna do Tainted. We haven't rated Tainted for a while. He's been rating the Lost Chapters every week. Cool dude. They are doing. Looks like they're doing a Wild Mount campaign. He's a level 10 Blood Hunter in his campaign, so we're going to hang out with them. So we're going to do the thing and the stuff. Just going to set up the raid here. And link. Right, guys, thank you very much. We will see you again on Wednesday for the Curse of Strahd episode 6. We did miss a week. Hopefully you guys remember shit over there. But remember your characters over there, definitely. But do come back and check it out. Check us out on Wednesday. Make sure on Thursday and Fridays you check out the Lost Chapters, and on Saturdays too, I think they're streaming. So the Lost Chapters, where Roasted Chicken and Prot and a bunch of guys, they've got a Storm King's Thunder campaign, they've got a homebrew campaign, and they've got the Lost Mines of Phandelver. So definitely go check those guys out and hang out with them. So many campaigns. As always, some champion DMing from you. Thank you, Aslan. I appreciate it. I do my best. First time really DMing, so I hope it's all good for everyone, including the players. We'll leave off with a dad joke. The great thing about stationery shops is they're always in the same place. Wah, wah, wah. And with that, we'll see you later.